Hello guys, in this video I'm going to talk about tuples and Python functions. So now in tuples, it is like a data structure that we can use in Python to store data. So it is similar to lists and variables in Python, but tuple has some differences that I'm going to talk about. But before that, I'm going to show you how to create a tuple. And so for creating a tuple, you just name it. Like in my case, I'm just going to say age, and I'm gonna assign it some random values. So I'm gonna say 21 and 18. Now, if I like a list and variables, we can print a tuple, but but tuples cannot be modified. So it is immutable. Like a list, we can modify it, we can add elements to it, we can change it, but a tuple cannot be modified, or elements cannot be changed in a tuple or deleted. So if I show you like age 1, I want it to set it equal to 14. So I cannot change it. You can see it says tuple object does not support any item assignment. That because you cannot assign any values to it. It is a tuple. That's what tuple is. So I just showed you the basics of tuples in Python. Now let's get on with functions in Python. So let me just remove this. And a function is basically a collection of code which performs a specific task. Like there are different chunks of code that do different things. You could say it like that. Functions are very good, and they're the core concept of programming in Python. So if you want to learn Python programming, then you should know functions and all the basic things that I'm telling you. So I'll show you guys how to create a function right now. So to create a function, first you put this keyword def, and you just assign a name to it. In my case, I'll create a function that says hi to the user and gets their name and then says hi to the user. So I'm just name it say hi, and then after telling the name you can put parentheses and then colon. That's what makes a function. So what def does is it says to Python, hey, a user wants to create a function, and it allows us to do that. So now I hit enter. As you can see, my cursor is indented. So now if I type anything, you can see it is indented. There's a gap. So that's what it does. If it is indented, that means it is inside of a function. But if it is not indented, then it is not inside of a function. So like this is inside of a function. This is not inside of a function. This is outside. So that's what the indent does. Now to say hi and get the name from the user. To get the name from the user, I'll use an input statement. So it basically just gets data from the user, and it allows them to type on the console. And I'm also going to store it in a variable called name. So I'm going to say name equal to input, enter your name. And now I can print hi plus name. And now so if I run it now, you can see right now it doesn't show any it doesn't show any information, or it doesn't show any enter your name, or doesn't print anything, because right now we're not executing this code. So in functions, we can execute the code inside a function whenever we want to, and to do that we can say hi. So if you want to, call a function like to execute the code inside it, you just say hi and parentheses. So you just say the name and then parentheses. And now if I run it, it says enter your name. I'm gonna say David, and it says hi David. So let me just do this. So I just explained you the basics of functions. Functions are very powerful and you can do a lot of things with them. But in our case, we're just getting the name and uh, printing the name and saying hi to the user. But another thing I want to talk about in functions, let me just remove this and let me just put hi user right now. Another thing that I want to talk about is parameters in Python, in functions actually. So whenever we create a function, we're going to want to have additional information that gets passed in. And these are called parameters. So what a parameter does is it is a piece of information that we can give to the function. So to create some parameters, what we can do is inside of the parentheses, we can just do any name like say instead of printing user right now, I want to print a name. So what I could do, I could pass in a parameter. I could say name, and then I could use this name parameter inside my function, and then now we have created a name, but right now the parameter is not getting any information. So to give that information where we're calling the function, we put the information there instead of printing it. Instead of giving it in the function, we do that when we're calling it. So I'm gonna say Mike instead of printing here. I'll just do the information here, and the parameter will take it from here and just print it here. Now if I run it, as you can see, it says hi Mike. So that's what parameter does. You want to use parameters a lot of times in functions, but a lot of times you also want to use it without parameters. It depends on what you're doing. So yeah, I have talked about the basics of tuples and functions in this tutorial, and you might have learned a lot with it. And I hope you guys like the video, and please like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.